We continue from a previous video in the explanation of this post method on the HTTP method sim. We talk about the data length. This is one of the reasons why we therefore use the post function. Yes, in respect say it gets a side effect that, but for any side effects there is a way for get around that. One, with regards to data length, in fact it gets I go say almost unlimited amount of data we accept as compared to the other one. Then let's say get a very huge form on student registration where get over thousands fields or hundreds of fields. Then if you use any other method for sending the data, they bounce and database they bounce. But with the post method, with a bulk amount of data where it try for submit, it able upload any data or it submits them as well. Good. Let me see what he says. A post request can carry a large amount of data, which makes them suitable for sending complex or uploading files. For sending complex forms or uploading files. Hence, we use this one what they call the n-type multipath when if we want for upload data, we want for do data uploading. This function they enhance we for do data uploading. Good. We come to the state change. The post request often results in a state change. Yes, we know. Meaning, on the server, for example, when you submit a registration form, a new user account is created on the server, which changes its state. What does this mean? I don't enter my application form, I don't submit them. With the post request, it will able help me for out a new view where they tell you say you don't successfully save your record. If you want for let that go happen, it's very fine, and they make, in fact, it make your site somehow interactive. Server processing. Let's see with regards to post request what can happen, how the server the process a request. On the server side, the data sent in a post request is typically processed by a handler or controller that takes the data and performs the necessary action such as storing it in a database or updating the application state. Good. What he actually would decide for explain here, if they use the post function, it gets two things. Two. One, it gets the action. Two, it gets the controller. What do you mean by action? Action or method. What do you mean by method in the programming terms? Method now an event handler, something where they make let something happen. Meaning, send this record in the database, you get a syntax away responsible for that day, where they hit into the database and open the database and put them inside. That thing where they make it happen, now we call method, now we call action. With the post method, it go able for let the all two communicate easier. For let you send another server as easy as it is with the CR when we reach into practical end. Good. So let me continue. For example, the post request in a web form. I've been not explain them earlier. I will just re-explain them back so that we go understand better. If you fill your registration form with your name, email address, and password, when you click the submit button, the browser they send the post request to the server with the data where you enter. I've been not explain them once. The server where they process this data, they create a new user account. Just after you don't send this, what happen? They refresh, they empty all the text box and everything they empty. It make them ready for you for let other person go able enter and other information. Now the beauty about the post. Then what will happen? They also send a feedback to the browser by giving a confirmation page. Say, hey, either I say welcome or you tell you say you don't submit. In summary, the HTTP post method is used to send data to the server for creating or updating resources. It's commonly used in web forms and is considered more secure and sensitive. Very important. The why would they decide for use the post in respect say they create duplication, but with the controller and the controller we dey create a function where dey able prevent that for the duplication of record not will happen at all. But for the sake of one, the bulk of data wey dey accept, two, the security of sensitive request and data wey dey send, so that hacker no go intercept them. We have no option but for let we use am. So in this note, we want follow see certain other endsem or for discuss this and a separate operation we want for discuss detail. Because of we almost don't end the post, we want for can explain some practical and certain tips we're not associated to what we don't explain, but now some certain syntax we will go for deal with. I will pause the video now. We'll get another new video where they can end the presentation.